Hi there, this is a brief video on the process for editing, also called topping and tailing, a Zoom recording. So it's for people that have made a recording and want to make changes to how that recording is viewed. So we're going to look at how to do topping and tailing, but I will point out from the outset that it is not a permanent edit to the recording. Zoom only allows you to make changes to the start and finish point of a cloud recording in terms of how it's viewed in the cloud by other people. So if someone were to download your recording, for example, they would get the whole recording. The topping and tailing has no impact on that. So look, let's get to it. The process starts for Charles Sturt staff by going to the Zoom portal, and the address for that is charlessturt, one word, .zoom.us. At that point you'll be asked to sign in. Click sign in. And we're going to find our recordings over on the left hand side in the nav. Okay, and we can take any of the recordings that are in here. So look, let's find any recording in that list. I'll click on one of these. So there happens to be two files here, but I'm going to work on the top one. The easiest way to do editing at this point is just to actually click, because you're the host, click on the actual play icon for the video itself. It'll open in the browser.
It starts bugging around for 45 minutes trying to work out what to do with it.
That started to play, so we'll just pause that. And so I've got a recording that goes for 9.5 minutes. Now, at the bottom of that recording, over here on the right hand side, we can see a pair of scissors. And as I hover over it, there's a little tooltip that pops up that says set the playback range. If I left click on that, we get two handlebars, that's what they call these toggles, one at the beginning of the recording and one at the end. So if I was to decide that I needed this recording to start here, 55 seconds in that case, and finish at this point, I can drag those in. I can then hit play again, so it's just updating. Hit play and it'll actually play that recording from this point. I can hit save. And then we'll then get the updated video file. Look at this handsome guy, and play it through. We'll see that recording is now 7 minutes and 44 seconds long. So the playback range has been shortened according to my edits. We're also able, for example, if you ever come back and decide actually the cloud recording needs to be changed again, you can just hit those scissors again, and you'll see that the original size is still there. So you can come back in and make those changes, adjust them, etc., and just click save once you're done. And then anyone who clicks on the recording link that you've provided, whether it's through the Zoom recording link that you might have emailed to them, or if it was through an Interact2 subject site, they would only be watching the playback range that you had selected from this process. That is the only editing that Zoom will allow you to do with your recordings, and it is not a permanent edit. So what I'm getting at is that if one of the students was to watch this video and click on the download option in the top right hand corner, they will get the full file if they're downloading it locally. It's only if they're watching the cloud recording that they're only going to see the shorter file, the 7 minutes 44 in this instance, rather than the longer recording itself. So this is an explanation of the editing that you can do in Zoom. It's very limited. I will also point out that you can change what's available to be done with the recording back in the Zoom portal. Once you go into recordings, against every recording that's in here, you are able to adjust the share settings. Right, so you can actually click on share, and for every recording you can turn off and on certain elements. By default, The recordings are available publicly, which means that if people have the link, which you might give them in your subject site or through an announcement, they're going to be able to watch it. We don't have authentication turned on. That usually creates other complications. There's no expiry date to the recording. However, you're probably aware that all recordings made in the Charles Sturt University Zoom account will delete themselves after 365 days. So even though there's no expiry date to the link, your recordings will actually auto-delete in a year. You'll see here that there is an option here about downloading. And at the moment, this is turned off, but there is a message here. One or more files in this recording have a set playback range. Please note that viewers will be able to download the full-length recording and all relevant files. Okay, so that's just confirmation of what I was saying before. If they download it, they get the whole thing. Transcripts are turned on. We don't use recording on demand, and we generally don't use passwords to protect our videos. So you can, as I said, click on the share button against each of the recordings in the back end of Zoom, in the Zoom portal, and make additional changes if a particular recording needs that. But by default, they can be downloaded, they can be watched, and you as the host can make changes to the playback range. And that concludes this video on what you can do with editing within Zoom meetings. Thanks very much.